Hello, you noble people. My name is the Noble, and we're gonna be reacting to the Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 teaser trailer. I didn't really talk about Poppy Playtime on the channel too much. I think I've occasionally brought it up when talking about stuff. Um, Simply because I do like the franchise. A lot of people don't like it because of one, its association with the content farms during like the early days. I don't really know if it has so much now. A lot of people were really against the like all the content farms, and this is the definition of when I would say the mascot horror got fatigued, and this was mainly around the end of chapter 1. Then they did the NFT things, and people kind of thought the mascot horror stuff was dead. But I don't really think that. I think mascot horror is still something that you can do really well, and the story that they have crafted with these characters is really interesting. And also, like, I like it when a thing has lore that is easy to digest, and FNAF is still the only real thing that hasn't like caught on to that. Secret of the Mimic is still like insanely vague. It still has some weird parts to it. But so many more mascot horror stuff seems to be going to the direction where there's still a mystery element and you can theorize, but it's not like, oh, you have to figure out like everything. I think Bendy, I think Poppy Playtime have like actual solid lore that is actually really cool and really interesting. And I'm super excited. I know there was a bunch of issues with Chapter 4. I actually played Chapter 4 on launch. The entire Yarnaby section was bugged for me, so I actually didn't have to play through that section, which is kind of funny because apparently if you did play through it, the Yarnaby was bugged to be super aggressive. So it's either you don't play that section or it's super aggressive. So that was kind of funny. But we're gonna watch through this teaser trailer. I'm super excited. The prototype is such a cool concept of a character, so I hope this also might be the last chapter of the game, which is gonna be interesting. So let's see what this is gonna be about. Turn it down a little bit. Oh, we actually get to see more parts of the labs now. Okay. Whoa. What is that? Well, I can see the prototype. What is that? Is that like full? Is that what's inside the toys? Also, we haven't seen a press me for Poppy. Oh, is that it? Wow. Okay, it is just a teaser. However, it did pop up with, let's pause it. It did pop up with something interesting there at the end that I want to look at. If it can and get, well, the thing burning is interesting. I wonder what this fleshy stuff is, because at first I thought it was just like the remains of the toys, because we've seen that throughout all of the chapters, but it doesn't quite look like that. It almost looks like, oh, a needle pulls a thread, the body rise in the table. Is is this it? Is this life? Footsteps echo off the manor floors. What do I do now? Where do I belong? The eyes glued to the screen transform and rebirth. Do you know what he wants? Do you know anything? Not yet. This probably is going to kill the bit rate. That looks, for a second, I'm assuming this is the prototype. It looks like a Darth Vader helmet for like a split second. Okay, I like amping up the creep factor is what I want. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna like this. I know this video is not gonna be too long. I am really, I guess we can look at some of the other stuff. Yeah, this stuff is, it's like glowing, which is interesting. Um. One of my favorite parts of 4 is the entire section with the doctor. I love the one of the aspects that I always thought was kind of lacking with chapters 1 to 3 was the fact that it's the same thing with FNAF where it's, oh, these kids are in the toys or whatnot, and sure, that is cool. However, something that I is the most interesting thing with FNAF is the idea that adults, or the agony aspect of FNAF, that you can still have people inhabiting stuff, or something that it doesn't have a soul getting sentience, like the Mimic. I mean, obviously Springtrap. There's so much stuff that's cool, and I like those aspects of the FNAF lore a lot. With Poppy, they didn't really have that until Chapter 4, when it was revealed that they just turned one of the, I forget which scientist his name was, but they turned him into a like just a brain in a jar, and he like ran almost everything. I think he helped with the Hour of Joy, if I'm correct. And his entire boss fight with the multiple versions of like his TV hooded figure, it's still buggy, and I will admit sometimes they do need to let these bake more, and they also did not give a date. It does not look like. It looks like they haven't given a date, which is good. I would say I would be happy with this being like towards the end of 2026, because if I remember correctly, I don't know. I feel like I'm happy with this one being the last, and if they amp up the creep factor and make this a really good final chapter. The worst thing that they can do is fumble a landing. That's what happened with Bendy Chapter 5. Bendy Chapter 5 fumbled the landing with Bendy, and people didn't really care for it. I think they can nail this. They've set up so much cool stuff. Chapter 4 had a lot of people kind of upset with stuff. Yarnaby kind of felt like a throwaway, especially if your game got bugged and you didn't get to really see Yarnaby. People thought it was going to be a more present threat than just like one area, which, yeah, I agree with. People were very disappointed with Pianosaurus because Pianosaurus dies literally instantly. I really like Doey. I think Doey was like a really... Is it Doey? I think it was Doey. It was a really cool character. I love the three personalities. That boss fight, while difficult, was really fun, and I think each subsequent chapter has been an improvement on the last in terms of story. Sometimes there is a little clankiness and jankiness with stuff. I feel like the one that hasn't had the jankiness is actually chapter 2. I think chapter 2 had like no bugs, or like visible bugs, I guess I want to say. But I'm so excited for this. I hope they do a good job. And I really hope the prototype is actually like really scary. Oh, I completely forgot Huggy's gonna be in the next chapter. Huggy's gonna be in the next chapter. They revealed that Huggy was alive at the end of chapter 4. This is gonna be so interesting. I'm so excited for this. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay noble. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.